Greetings, peace, and love. Happy Monday. I pray that your week has started off fruitfully. I wanted to come on and talk about forgiveness of self. As the fall equinox came and graced us with a new season of this fall. Each season, I personally try to think about what are some of the things, maybe my key things I want to focus on as far as my introspection work or my self-work. And the one that has come to mind for this season is forgiveness. You know, one of the key words that I've been meditating on is forgiveness. And what comes with forgiveness is, I think, firstly, is the forgiveness of self. But before we can really understand what that means and how to do that, I think it's important for us to really understand what forgiving, or to forgive, or what forgiveness means. And if you look up the etymology of the word forgive, it means to give up, to pardon, to let go. And you could further find it to mean to not only give it up, but to let it be returned back to the rightful owner, or let it be returned back to its original place. And so when we think about forgiveness of self, it's saying I'm going to give up self. Listen to that. I'm going to give up the self. And that is the true forgiveness of self. So what does that really mean? It means to be able to put down this notion of you being so finite or important, or it's allowing yourself to let go of the identification that you have with self. Because oftentimes we are hurt and we bring on pain to ourselves because we are thinking too much of ourselves. This life it surpasses any perception of what you think is supposed to be, or what you wanted to be, or what somebody said it was, or any of those things. Like, things are just way more, there's a bigger picture to everything. In other words, I want to give an example because I want to make sure that speaking clearly. So for an example, you may be dealing with a certain situation in life that invokes anger, it invokes fear, guilt, shame, any of those different type of things. But the reality is that that situation is much bigger usually than what you're experiencing it to be, what you're perceiving it to be. There's a bigger lesson. There's a bigger blessing. We see that a lot of times because oftentimes we're in a situation and then it ends up working out in a certain kind of way, and you go, man, I could have never conjured that up. I could have never thought of that. And that's because when we experience life, we're experiencing life oftentimes from the lens of our past experiences, of what we think things should be, what's the standard of someone's standard of how things should be, what research shows us, what happened to somebody else, what we want to happen. We're perceiving it from a limited point of view. But, it's like we don't really know. So what we could do that would be better is to face circumstances and situations, even life, more empty, with just this knowing that everything is in divine order, everything is being calibrated in a divine way. Dots are being connected. I may not know the dots, I may not know how this is going to work out, why this is, or any of those things, but I just trust that all is well. And just kind of deal with situations more empty. But oftentimes what happens is our ego is so pumped up. That's what I said. Like, we found ourselves to be so important, or we think too much of ourselves. The ego is so pumped up that it's hard for you to see or hear anything outside of what you're seeing and hearing. in your physical senses. And so forgiveness of self, really boils down to giving up this notion of the personalized or individualized you that we hold on so much to, which stops us or gets in the way of us really being able to experience what it is to be a divine being, an infinite being, an eternal being, a child of God. All of these things mean the same thing, because there is dormant potentiality that is never stuck in a box. It's never limited. And so every circumstance, situation, everything you face in life is companioned with a dormant potentiality. It can open up to, and it can flourish and blossom into an infinite, there are infinite possibilities when it comes to it. But because of ego, we oftentimes can't experience that because we're stuck in a certain kind of perception. And so, that's what happens when we're stuck in resentment, shame, guilt, or, despair, yearning and wanting, is that ego has us stuck in a certain mindset or mind space that is believing a certain thing or wanting a certain thing, or it's a limitation that we're stuck in that's keeping us in the shame, that's keeping us in the guilt, that's keeping us in anxiety. But once you forgive the self, meaning like give up the self, let the self go. Once you do that, you open yourself up to be able to experience the dormant potentiality, the infinite nature of the Most High, the eternal nature of the Most High. And so that's the true forgiveness of self. It's really allowing yourself to be empty, to let go of the notions, let go of the mindsets, let go of that and be more empty, open up more and more and more and more. So forgiveness of self, it takes the opening of the heart, the opening of the mind, the letting go of preconceived notions, the letting go of what you think that is the true forgiveness of self. And once you forgive self, when you let go of self, a lot of the things outside of you, forgiving others and those type of things, it's easier, and it almost comes as default because you're not taking yourself so seriously. You also you're not putting others or situations in boxes. There's dormant potentiality for everything. And so that's what I wanted to share. I just wanted us to think a little bit more deeply about what forgiveness means and what does forgiving the self mean. It's not like it's not just make yourself feel better by saying, well, let me let this go, and that happened so long ago, and I shouldn't be so hard on myself. It's saying, I'm not even myself like that, this what I think I am. These circumstances, situations, labels, ideas, responsibilities, all of these things are not me like that. These are just things that I have experienced. These are just things that come with my life. What I am is an eternal, infinite being. What I am is a child of the Creator, a child of God. And what comes with that, right? What comes with that is dormant potentiality, infinite potential. Like, it comes with grace, it comes with mercy, it comes with a forever expansion nature, forever expansive nature. And so it's not for me to hold on to any circumstance, situation, or thing like that. So let me free up myself, open my heart, open my mind, so that I can truly experience this life as a child of the Creator. And so that I can truly experience all of my experiences and things in life in a way that is expansive, in a way that teaches me, in a way that grows me, in a way that helps me to build gratitude, in a way that, allows me to be illuminated versus bound, and that is really forgiveness of self, in as I reflect and contemplate. And I just wanted to share that. So I pray this is something that at the very least made you think, think about it, and maybe it was inspiring. I pray. And I just continue to pray that we are able to find better understanding about what it means to be a child children of the Creator, children of God. And I pray that we're constantly allowing ourselves to grow and expand. And I pray that we can continuously give up and let go and surrender in a way where we're not holding on to life so tightly, or holding on to not even our visions and dreams and goals and things we like and yearning. Like, if we could just be free, be free, be free, be free. That's my prayer. I pray that we can continue to be free, that our mind can be freed up, our heart can be freed up, so that Spirit can speak to us and the voice of God can be louder than the voice of our ego, so that we can continue to expand and grow in this journey. So we give thanks. All right. Well, happy Monday. I pray you enjoy the rest of your week. Peace and love.